Hello, good evening, good afternoon, 4:30, good afternoon. It's been a while, I guess, a week at least. I don't even remember what my last update was about. I don't know what this one will be about. I guess I'll just talk about a few things. So I did hit my breaking point by the last time I updated. And since then, which has been 3 weeks or so, I'd say it's been kind of rockety. It's been I've been overeating pretty consistently, but I've not been binging, which is good. I don't think I've binged once properly. Well, I mean, I've absolutely scoffed my face until I feel ill. There have been days where I've eaten excessive, a lot. I mean, today I had an entire tube of Pringles, but then other than that, I've had a couple of slices of toast and porridge with a banana in it. So I've not massively overeaten. I'm just eating shit because it's there. Anyway, so basically eating is slowly improving. One thing I'm not doing is putting a load of pressure on myself, because one of the things I'm used to doing is basically telling myself that's not what I really want to do, eat a load of food extra. So I'll say, no, that's not what we want to do. I might write out my goals, try to visualize, go on a jog, meditate, and just try to prevent myself from eating anything. And maybe I'll do it. But even if I do abstain, often there's a strong sense of anxiety that builds up, because that food is literally playing on my mind. It's like an imp. It's just tormenting me. It's really strange, but yeah, it's just on my mind. I'm like, okay, I've got to get rid of it, bin it or eat it or let someone else have it, but it just strains my mind, and if I tell myself not to eat it, then it just seems to build up and build up. So this time I've generally just gone, okay, well, just have some more. We'll just eat it then. You feel like it, eat it, and then I'll eat it. Might feel a bit shit, go to bed a bit naff, and then this is what happened 2 days ago. I ate a load more Pringles, even though I didn't really want any, but they were there. The next morning I felt naff. Didn't eat any Pringles yesterday. Today I've eaten a lot, but I haven't eaten much in total. Anyway, I'm not yo-yoing as much. It's not great, but at the same time, discipline seems to only do so well. And yeah, I guess I've just experienced what James Clear said in Atomic Habits, which was like, self-discipline is great for the short run, but is unsustainable in the long term, and seems to be the case for me. I think my will is only so strong at the moment anyway, and I can say it's all a mental problem, and you can whip out some stoicism and self-discipline, self-help books and whatever, and say you're just weak, and I'll go, okay, but I'm accepting what I'm doing at the moment, and yeah, I'm still relatively anxious, but that's kind of been a part of my being for the last few years, or a couple of years at least, I'd say, and it just seems to diminish when I'm not yo-yoing. I mean, when I'm on my mission and shit, I'm, I guess, not so anxious, but even then I'm anxious because I might not be being perfect, or I might not be anxious, but I might be stressed, and there is a difference. It's hard for me to discern the difference, but anxiety is, to me, a sense of living out of accordance with your values, whereas stress is just like an existential pressure that doesn't have to pertain to your values, but can just pertain to fear of X, Y, and Z, fear of ostracization, alienation, death, rejection, etc. Anyway, that's that part of the update done. Next, oh yeah, by the way, I have put on a good amount of weight. I'm now pretty insecure walking around the house. If I do, go for a shower, just in my underwear, because I've got my lovely muffin hips back. That's like my biggest insecurity in terms of my physique. So I've got them back, so I'm now actually gone back to being quite insecure about my body. I'm meditating more. I've started reading a book called The Mind Illuminated, and I'm beginning to, well, I guess I already did, but I'm yeah, I believe in spirit, and I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. But yeah, that's good. People in the hostel are sound. A new couple moved in a few days ago. I'm not keen on them. The girl's very, very quiet. A Japanese bird, a German guy. The German guy seems to be quite opinionated and seems to impose himself. I've seen, with me, and I've been told by someone else, this girl, that he's imposed himself on me and that girl. In interactions, like for example, I was working out, and then he was saying, "Oh, you should try this," and he was like mocking us lightly, saying, "Oh yeah, you're not doing it right," and very minor, subtle things, and maybe he was doing it in a joking manner, but because his being is, I perceive him as quite a weak person. Like today, for example, he was doing his CV, or maybe his girlfriend's CV, and she was just sat there on her phone for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and eventually he was like, "Oh, you're right, baby, I'm nearly done." I was stroking her face, and, are you all right? And she was going, she was just doing, It was like, "Baby, are you all right?" I was like, "Bruh, Anyway, I presume it's quite weak, not very confident or assertive. So thus, I'm sorry, but these actions of being a bit impositional, if that's the word, being a bit imposing, are just a bit, no, I'm not really a fan of you, mate. This other girl, so basically, that's another thing. About a week ago, I jacked off. I haven't jacked off in 2 days. This will be the second full day, I think. Yeah, I think so. And watched porn, and have done like 4 times over the last week. 5 times probably. 5 times, I'd say. About once a day, apart from the last 2 days. Yeah. And I just noticed my self-esteem didn't go down too much I've had more sexual thoughts about this girl in the hostel. Prior I hadn't had one ever, and yeah, eventually I said to her, "I want something casual with you." She laughed, thought I was joking. I said no, like in a straight face, like, "No, I'm serious. I want something casual with you." Just because we had one night where we were watching a movie in my bed, projected onto the wall, or like shoulder to shoulder, and she's making like sex jokes and stuff. So I thought, okay, well maybe she doesn't want it, and we can talk about like that inherent neediness and yada 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 later. But the point is, I thought she wanted some fuck. I had some fuck on my mind, and I just said, "I want something casual." She laughed. I told her again. She laughed. Told her again. She laughed. Told her again, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't expect that from you. I don't see you like that. I see you as a big brother." I was like, "Oh shit!" Back to year 7, 8, 9, 10, up until I was like 18, just friend zone mania, and yeah, I was like almost just relieved, because I know that she didn't find me attractive, and she's probably just a horny girl, and she's maybe acts like one of the lads, making dick jokes and cum jokes a lot. So yeah, I'm happy that I was outright with my intention. I pussied out, and I told her I had too much fear to kiss her, because when we were sat together, I was full of I had a lot of anxiety. Sometimes we were watching Black Mirror, and sometimes so much to completely distract me from what was going on. I had quite a bit of anxiety, like how to kiss her, because I felt like, oh, I'm back. I've made no progress since first year of uni, when I first kissed a girl sober. When I didn't know how to actually initiate a kiss just from nothing. I still haven't learned from that. It's difficult, especially when there's no sexual tension. That's the thing. I was trying to. Had I gone to kiss her, I couldn't have really expected anything else other than rejection, unless she was a stupidly timid girl, which she isn't, which would have meant that, she'd have not given me any signs of interest. But again, she's not a timid girl, and she didn't give me signs of interest, other than the sex jokes, which are just normal to her. So yeah, it was probably just a it would have been a bad move. But anyway, the fear stopped me from doing it. As I said, had she shown interest, I probably would have initiated, tried to kiss her. Yeah, anything else? I think I've got other stuff probably. Okay, 2 days ago I started building my website portfolio, my portfolio website. Completed my HTML and CSS Udemy course. Yesterday I bought and started this JavaScript Udemy course. Yeah, it's going well. I'm started getting up earlier. Been getting up at like 5 to 7 the last couple of days. The day prior was 5 to 6. And that was simply because one night I decided to go to bed at 7 minutes to 7, and then I had like a bloody wank, and then I read for like an hour and a half, and yeah, I got up at just before 6. So yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more sustainable in my sleep. 2 days ago we played Dungeons and Dragons, the hostel, and because I'm like pretty much black and white in so much that I do, I went to bed at like 11, because that's when Dungeons and Dragons finished. I've got the tiniest dog coming up to come and say hello to me. That is so cute. Hello, hello, look at the dog. Hello, hello, hello. How cute the dog is. Go, go. Look at the dog. Go, go, go. She's mine now. Come on. I'm going to pause this so the owner gets her. Okay, well, that was just fulfilling. Fucking Bowie, dog called Bowie, just going nuts for me, nuts for my attention. That was, yeah, nice. What else? I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. There's a small child in the background, I've just noticed. I will repause. One of the things this book talks about, I've just started, is mindfulness and the definition of mindfulness. And from this definition, I'd say I'm quite mindful. And by mindfulness, it's, from what I remember of the definition, it's being aware, introspective or interospective, because it's just intro. It's introspection, which is being aware of like your thoughts, feelings, intentions, whatever. And yeah, I noticed that in particular recently, when I'm overeating or eating poorly or whatever, or if I spend too long on YouTube and wasted too much time, don't feel like I've done enough, I'm much more reactive to people. If people say, Luke, can you do this? Or not even, they're not Luke, can you do this? But very subtle things. Someone says something that isn't so funny, I might ask them another question to save them from feeling awkward. Or I might somehow make a dick of myself and put myself in a lower position so they don't have to feel bad. Or just it's hard to give an example, but signs of weakness. And when I do them, I'm aware that I'm doing them. It's quite strange, and instantly I can reflect and feel like, what, you know, it's not a sense of guilt or it's not really shame, but it's just that I'm aware that I'm living out of accordance with what I value. And yeah, I'm just financially retarded at the moment, if that works as a phrase, an expression. I've been retarded financially. Yeah, it's not really retarded, I'm just lacking, I guess. Yeah, and that's kind of, I guess, that is retarding my efforts. Oh no, it's retarding my ability to live in a conducive environment. Yeah, that works. Yeah, because I'm not really in a great environment for working, and I am not in, it's not a bad environment, but I mean, there is distraction. I mean, I do have good conversations with people pretty much every day now. I mean, I don't want to say intellectual conversations, but, you know, not dumb conversations. I don't know, and it's nice to learn, because I mean, I don't know much about history, and I was talking today about how tomatoes came from South America because Portugal went over there, and then Europe went over there in total, and well, just Portugal, and brought a load of food back, and we were like, oh, potatoes, tomatoes, and now tomatoes are like the food of Italy, and it's actually only 500 or so years old in Italy, and prior it was all South America. Maybe that's not true, maybe his history is inaccurate, but learning about stuff like that is interesting. Talking about psychology and philosophy and etc is fun, but it can detract from my work time, these conversations. Saying that, there are so many hours in the day that I'm awake. I'm obviously not using them all productively. So what I'm trying to say is the main thing is food, like the free food that's there is not good. Like yesterday, a person who works here bought 750 grams of peanut butter and placed it in the free food shelf. Immediately I told like Nico, no dude, this is just terrible. He said, okay, I'll move it for you, and he's got it in his basket now. Good. But the cans of Pringles, like 20 tubes of Pringles we've had over the last couple of weeks, 20 plus, maybe 30. So it's just like shit. Yeah, that's just my lack of self-control. I take responsibility, but maybe I do have some disorder. I'm not saying I do, because I don't want to just say, oh yeah, it's not me, it's my disorder. I would never do that. But if it is something I have, then I don't want to be in a I don't want to be in a environment which just kind of reaffirms this disorder. So I'm just looking at the birds. I'll again pause and see if I have anything else to talk about. Ooh. How am I looking in general for my goals and stuff? I've got like 11 to 12 weeks max, and that's if I'm living in this hostel, and that's if it's at the winter rate, which it should be, yeah, which is $140 a month, a week, sorry, for rent. So that's about 200 a week on everything, hopefully. I have like 11 weeks until I'm completely out of money, and then I'll have to say to Dad, hey Dad, can you pay for a flight and I'll pay you back when I get some money? And he'll go, yes son. I'll go, oh shit, I'm going home. So yeah, until that time I need to start making some money basically. I might be on track. Within a month I'd like to have like applied to some jobs, some contracts on Upwork, a website which, you know, pertains to freelancing and offers freelancing jobs. In terms of living here, I think I'll still be living in Melbourne. Still think I'll be living at this hostel because I see no other cheap option. I won't be moving in with my housemate Nico because I can't commit to anything other than like a week by week contract really. A month would be sufficient, a month by month contract, but other than that I can't commit. And most like 3 month minimum. Girls, I downloaded Tinder and Bumble because this girl in the hostel, I was like going on Tinder on her phone, and she was like, oh, I'll, you know, help you make your profile. I downloaded it, she chose a load of pictures. I think they're pretty good pictures. I mean, I forgot I had some actual decent pictures of myself that aren't just from my Instagram and aren't just from last year's cycle holiday, which is just me sweating on a bike, not looking great, and all low quality photos. So yeah, I have some decent photos. I downloaded Tinder. I didn't get any likes at all. In fact, I went from 5 people like you down to, when I checked this morning, I had 3 people like you. So I don't know how that works. Anyway, Bumble, I created a completely new profile, so I assumed that my ELO, the where you get placed in the queue for people to look at, how highly ranked you are, for, you know, people's swipe queue. Creating a new profile, so I thought I'd be near the top. You are for like 24 hours, I believe, or that might just be for Tinder. Nevertheless, I have one person who's swiped right on me, apparently. One person. I mean, am I that? You know what I mean? Am I that? Like, much of a repellent? Am I that putrid? I don't think I am though, but I don't know why I only got one match. It's a bit ridiculous. So anyway, it just seems, I don't know how it makes sense, because I don't think I'm that repulsive to warrant one right swipe at all. So I'd uninstall them both, trying to go back to not caring about women. Need to focus on me completely. I'm kind of glad that Hayley, this girl from my hostel, who shall not be named, who has not yet been named, definitely not, rejected me, because if I was fucking, I imagine I'd just be like, oh yeah, life is actually pretty good, I'm getting validated by a woman, let's keep not doing much work, and let's just keep getting validated by women, because that's not, oh my god, dog. Because that's just not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be just, hello? Yeah, I don't want to just pretend that everything's fine because I'm getting sex, you know. I don't want that to be the case at all. So yeah, I bought a book called The Multi-Orgasmic Man as well, by Mantak Chia. Basically, we just fucking have an orgasm but don't come, and you do that over and over again. I'll read that eventually and put the practices into place, but now I'm reading this Mind Illuminated. I want to focus more on meditation, and then, you know, jacking off and not coming can then be another practice I begin implementing. But for now, I want to focus on abstaining from masturbation and porn, focusing on my work and waking up earlier, and then slowly get my eating routine back on track. And I mean emphasize slowly. And that's it. I could keep rambling on about goals and, you know, but I won't. It's 22 minutes. Goodbye.